Welcome to the 2017 Lone Star Conference Basketball Online Media Day. I'm Ryan Cox, and we're here with Associate Head Coach for the men's basketball team, Chris Reisman. Chris, it's time for basketball season once again, and the preseason poll came out.
Right.
Defending champion UT Permian Basin's number 1,
Right.
West Texas A&M number 2. You guys are right behind, 3-vote difference in third. Your thoughts on the polls, the predictions, and just the overall landscape of the Lone Star Conference this year?
It's crazy how things have developed so fast. We're already talking about basketball coming up again, and the Lone Star Conference, like always, is one of the toughest conferences in the league, in my opinion. Great coaches, great players, and it's just going to be one of those years where every night you go out there, you got a chance to, go against a great team, and if you don't bring your best, you're going to get beat. And I think UTPB is very deserving. They returned a lot of key players back and had a great run last year. You talk about West Texas going to the Sweet 16 in our league. Out of our league and bringing back around 4 starters. And even with us, we got 4 guys that all started at different times of the year and, had a good run going there for a while, kind of had a disappointing finish. But, you had a lot of other teams that were ranked in the top 25 during the course of last season. A&M Commerce, Angelo, Midwestern. And so the Lone Star Conference every year is going to have a great brand of basketball. It's an unforgiving conference, and we found that out last year. They don't care if you got injuries. They don't care if you got guys that aren't able to perform at certain times due to any setbacks they may have. You got to put 5 guys on the floor, and you got to play your best. And I think one thing that we got to do a better job talking about going into the season is we got to finish better. And so it's going to be a war every night, but it's an exciting time. A lot of new guys to talk about, a lot of new teams, and so ready to get going.
We talked about how tough the conference is, but you have a tough non-conference schedule this year. We have some home games here, but we're bringing in Western Oregon, who 2 years ago was an Elite 8 and Final Four representative. You got Queens from North Carolina coming into town. Yeah. Your thoughts on just the schedule, what you have, because Troy Jones and yourself, coach, they don't make it easy on you.
It's a Coach Reisman special. He doesn't like to do things the easy way. You didn't mention Metro State, who was the national finalist not too long ago, and they always have a great brand of basketball. Queens is preseason number 2 in the nation. 30-4, 4 starters back. Obviously, Western Oregon, like you said, was a national semifinalist. And so it's, when you take probably one of the top D2 conferences in the country and then you add that on top of that, it's just one of those things where you guys get thrown at the deep end very quickly. But Coach Reisman is a big believer in playing a tough schedule. He thinks it gets you obviously ready for a conference in the Lone Star. And at the end of the day, if your guys are able to learn things about themselves, if they get put in spots of adversity, if they get put in spots of failure, and you see that early on, you're more likely to make changes that are going to help you in conference. And so I think that's the theory behind playing a tough non-conference schedule. And let's also be honest, it's hard to get teams to play when you've had a lot of success.
Yes.
Not anybody's going to play you. And so the top teams that just they want a chance to come in and knock off teams that have been successful. And so I think it's an exciting time for the community of Stephenville. I think it's an exciting time for Tarleton State University. And so now it's all about putting a lot of fans in the seats to come out and watch these amazing matchups. And for us, it's about new guys learning quickly, how to play Tarleton State basketball.
Yeah, and another thing that fans can get excited about, November 3rd, it's an exhibition game, but the Texans will open up at Texas A&M in College Station at Reed Arena. That's going to be a great, exciting matchup for you guys to get to experience.
It's a neat situation. It's Tarleton's 100th year centennial celebration, and so it kind of worked out to where we're able to play at an A&M system school. I think it's been almost maybe 9-10 years since we played them a long time ago. And the guys are excited. Anytime you get a chance to play, a team in the SEC like Texas A&M, obviously it's a higher stage. It's a lot of visibility brought to the campus. And, we know A&M has a great program. They got a great coaching staff. We're just excited to get to go down there and showcase Tarleton State. And I think we'll have a lot of fans down there. We're going to have a lot of new guys that are going to be on the floor that, they're going to get put in some situations right off the bat that's going to, hopefully, when the game's said and done, make them better, and that's what this is about. It's not about going in there and playing your best basketball on day one of an exhibition. We know what we're up against. We want to go in there, though, and we want to compete. We want to play hard, and then we want to see what happens, as the game progresses, and it's going to be fun.
You talked about the new guys. You have 6 guys that played in games last year, 7 if you count Rustin as a redshirt. We're not rebuilding, we're reloading, as I like to call it. Talk about some of the guys that you brought in, because you got some Division I transfers, some JUCO transfers, and then some high school kids as well.
Absolutely. And like you said, you kind of hit on the head already. We've got guys that have been in big games in Lone Star. Deshaun Riddick and Osa Ebawani have been in 3 NCAA tournaments. They both played in Final Fours and Elite 8s. You take Anthony Davis and Josh Hawley, who've been in our program going on that 3rd year. They've been in the wars, and they played a full LSC schedule, and they've done pretty well statistically at times. And so, Rustin set out for us last year. got to be in the program all season long, and really got hungry during that process. I think he has a chance to have a big role for us and kind of knows what to expect. But he's going to be itching, and I'm sure he's going to have a little bit of rust as well. But guys that have been around our program are going to have to really shoulder the load for these new guys as we continue forward. But I am excited about the new guys that we're bringing in. It's going to be there's going to be a lot of opportunity for some guys that can come in here and play an important role for us. I think one guy that people are going to notice right off the bat is Corinthian Ramsey at the point guard spot. He brings a level of quickness and athleticism that we really haven't had since Michael Harge and Chuck Guy. One thing that we really had to address in the offseason, I think, was guys that could go create shots or make plays at the end of a shot clock. And I think he's going to be an exciting guy as he continues to figure out how we want him to play, especially on the defense side of the ball. Offensively, he has a lot of gifts. You also talk about guys like Jesse Hill out of Florida Atlantic and Jerron Lands. Adding them to our front line with what we got coming back, I think makes us a little bit more deep in certain areas. They both bring unique skill sets to where they do some things well, and it's exciting. And so we see some things in practice, and I think they're starting to learn some things. But they can definitely be guys that I think can help us in the Lone Star Conference and with our preseason schedule. Really excited about guys like Clayshawn Gaffney and Brandon Johnson. Clayshawn's a freshman that. He's really just absorbing everything that we're giving to him. He's got great athleticism. And also Brandon Johnson, same thing. He's an explosive wing that can really rebound the basketball and get to the basket. And so, those are guys that I'm seeing things from daily. You talk about some of the other freshmen, Preston Enlow and Dexter Johnson. They've been able to really take what we're giving them and absorb it and translate it to the floor right now. And they both bring certain things that I think can add to our basketball team. And so, there's a number of guys that I know that I'll miss, but Sam Marshall out of Capel, he's a big that, man, he's got great IQ. He does the intangibles for you. He can shoot the basketball. He can handle the basketball. And so I'm excited to see, where we continue to build with some of these young guys. But it's going to be a patient situation now. I think people got to get ready to that. You're talking about we got 11 new guys, and you're talking about playing quite a few of them and mix them in with the returners that we have. And so things aren't going to be perfect. There's going to be some chemistry that's got to get resolved. There's going to be a lot of learning. And so my biggest thing, and I think our coaching staff's biggest thing right now, is playing hard through mistakes. And, if we can continue to play hard and, be intense and kind of play up to the level with energy and enthusiasm that Coach Reisman demands on a daily basis, then I think you'll see us get better. And that'll be our goal, is getting better one day at a time.
Well, the season is going to be here in a few weeks away, November 3rd at Texas A&M in College Station. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip-off. And then the home opener for the Texan Tip-Off Classic will be November 10th against Metro State at 7 o'clock. So that's going to be up here in a few weeks. But coming up right after this will be Nosa Ebamwani, senior forward. We'll discuss the player's view for the upcoming season.
Stand out by design.
Welcome back to the 2017 Lone Star Conference Basketball Online Media Day. We're joined by senior forward Nosa Ebamwani. Nosa, it's the final go-round for you this year. It's your fourth year, your final year. How excited are you for this season?
I'm ecstatic. We've been through a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations before this season even started. And not just us as returners, but a lot of the new guys, they're all ready to go as well to see what we can do together as a team.
Well, this season you come in, you're picked third in the conference behind UTPB. They won the conference regular season and tournament championship, and the West Texas A&M's picked second. Your thoughts on the prediction poll and how that plays into how y'all look at the season?
That makes perfect sense. That just makes us even more ready to go. They have every team in this Lone Star Conference is talented. Those teams ahead of us, they're talented as well. And I feel like, if we just play our game and we just keep doing what we need to do, eventually, we'll get back to where we can be, staying up there.
Yeah, your experience, you've been to 3 NCAA tournaments in your time. You've played a lot of good teams. This season, we're going to need every bit of experience that you have because it's a tough schedule. You open up at Texas A&M. You're going to have Metro State for the home opener. Queens, who's a top 5 team in the nation coming in this season, and then Western Oregon. They were in the Final Four when we were there in Frisco 2 years ago. Your thoughts on the schedule and just how tough it is every game? There is no days off.
That's Coach Reisman for you. That is Coach Reisman for you. It's never going to be anything easy with him. it's always a tough road or no road at all. And it's not just me as a returner. We have Deshaun Riddick and even some of the guys that's played for a year, like Anthony Davis, Josh Hawley, people that's actually been here, like Rustin, all of them. We're going to need everybody's experience to help kind of guide the new guys, the transfers, everybody, because everybody has talent. And the biggest thing is just putting it together to show for it.
Yeah. You talked about Deshaun. You two are the only two seniors this year on the roster, but we have 6 returners, 7 total if we count Rustin. But you got a lot of new guys. How does the chemistry work with you being a senior leader and so many new guys trying to get them in the flow? What is your role going to be this season?
The biggest thing is leading by example. You can tell them what to do, but if you're not showing them what to do, if they get on the floor, they're just going to make mistakes as well. So showing them like how to do things, how to get things done will make the transition faster and more smooth. And on top of that, just practicing every day, playing with them, that's actually really the biggest key to it. And never ever trying to get too low or get too high, and never try to expect so much out of them at one time.
Right.
That you just keep going and just keep giving your best, and eventually things will start to click.
Well, the season, you'll have a few weeks to get ready to click because the season starts November 3rd at Texas A&M. There'll be an exhibition game at 7 o'clock at Reed Arena, and then the home opener will be November 10th against Metro State at 7 o'clock. So, Nosa, we'll see you in a few weeks in College Station and then here in Wisdom Gym, and we'll get ready to do it once again.
Thank you. I'm excited.
All right. This is another episode of the Lone Star Conference Online Basketball Media Day.